ABC 3340's Pothole Patrol exposed deep, dangerous potholes scattered through several subdivisions, but a bigger question remains: who's responsible for fixing them? In many neighborhoods, the roads aren't owned by the city or the county, so we want to hear from you. Who should fix roads in private neighborhoods? You can scan the QR code on your screen or go to abc3340.com to vote. The I-Team's Valerie Bell digs into why that makes the issue hard to solve and what steps you can take if your neighborhood is stuck in the same situation.
If you turn into Briar Ridge in Argo, get ready to dodge craters.
You got to just go 1 or 2 miles an hour over it, or you're likely to pop a tire.
The same frustrations are felt by people who live in Peaceful Meadows in St. Clair County.
They're everywhere. They're bomb craters. I mean, it's ridiculous.
We've had a kid riding his bike and break his arm because he hit one of the potholes.
2 different streets, same story. Neighbors say no one wants to own the problem or fix it.
We've called the city, we've called the county. It seems like they're just passing the buck to each one. We can't get a clear-cut answer.
We pay taxes like anybody else. I mean, this road's used all the time. I mean, you have delivery people, all that. What's the difference in it being out yonder on the main highway?
To get answers, we took their questions to an attorney.
What legal rights do these property owners and these people who live in these subdivisions have?
Unfortunately, it's going to be very specific to what happened at the time that those properties were developed, how the deeds were put into probate.
Ed Merle says it comes down to one thing: ownership. If the road was never formally handed off to the city or county, they don't have to touch it.
Can homeowners sue a developer over this?
They could. There's some statute of limitations issues and things of that nature, but they certainly could. Biggest problem they're going to run into in the areas where the developer went bankrupt is that there probably just won't be anything they can do about it.
And when the developer goes bankrupt, that road, it's yours to deal with. Merle points to a case from 1988. Moody residents sued over a similar problem.
Because the city had never done any formal adoption of the dedication of the property, the appellate court said there's no obligation by the city to come back in and maintain any of those roads.
Bottom line, if it's not on their books, it's not their problem.
Based on the research I did, not only is it common across the state, it's a national problem. The developers are building them so fast that they're not going through all the steps to then get those streets put into city or county road systems.
And the consequences fall on taxpayers who thought their streets were covered. St. Clair County Commission Chairman Stan Bateman says the law is clear.
The law says we can't work on property that doesn't belong to the county.
If the developer didn't build the road to county standards, it's never adopted and never maintained.
If you adopt those substandard roads, you end up with a lot of roads that take a lot of work.
Even his own neighborhood has faced this. Repairs there have been paid for out of HOA funds. Bateman estimates fewer than 10 subdivisions in the county are currently dealing with the issue, but he says most of the problem comes down to one thing: the final layer on the roadway.
What you have is some of the developers created LLC, some of them named after the subdivision, Whispering Pines LLC. And as soon as they get through with it, they bankrupt the LLC and they leave, and they hadn't put the final surface on.
A final layer that never gets laid because the developer disappears. So what can be done? The county says team up.
If someone came to the county and wanted a partnership 50-50, roughly how much would it cost the people and the county to get that road back up to par?
That's a good question, because if you look at the plant mix road, which everybody wants the black plant mix asphalt road with the stripes down the sides or whatever, or valley gutters or whatever, we would only do that in a partnership in a road that's not ours, and if we did the asphalt, it's expensive.
Bateman says that would cost roughly $100,000 a mile, recommending a cheaper option.
We would suggest, how about the second choice would be, let us put down a chip and seal, tar and gravel, which is we got a lot of tar and gravel roads in the county, and they're definitely better than having potholes.
The county is also exploring a long-term fix, such as requiring developers to post a bond up front to cover road completion, but Bateman says that's still years away.
The solution to the ones that are in this situation now would be a partnership. Come to the county, Everybody pays taxes, the same amount. Well, to get to that subdivision, you drove down an interstate highway that's federal money, you drove down a state highway that's state money, you drove down a county road to get there, and then you turned in to a non-government fixed road. So you have to be aware of that. Be aware of who is responsible for whatever road you're buying property on.
If you're dealing with an issue like this, Bateman says call your district commissioner. They can bring the concerns to a work session and start the process of looking at cost and timeline. Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 I-Team.